Oh, getting itchy. Sorry. Maybe.
Alright, what's up everybody? This is probably going to be kind of a boring stream. But, if you just want to chat about Magical Vacation, feel free to ask questions. So, I'm trying to think about how to start this tutorial. I guess I should say something like, please follow along. And I will be providing graphics and commentary where things are not obvious. Essentially, for routing or for movement, you just watch what I do. But like for battles, I kind of need to explain what I'm doing, how much HP the boss has, strategy, and everything's going to be on the left side. So like where chat is, where patch is right now. That'll all be covered over with a graphic. So I need to go ahead and measure that and create a PSD in Photopea. It's that size. And just make a bunch of layers. And every time I want that graphic to change, I'll create a new layer. But I'm eating some guacamole. And some chips. So there's a little bit of ASMR. Although I don't know if you can hear me crunching and munching. But you could probably hear me smacking. Because the way I have the mic set up. I think you could probably hear some of it. Although it does look like the tutorial will be successful. It looks like at least there's a few people interested out there based on views that are watching the run, that are watching some of my slow play. I know when I was learning this run from scratch, basically, I would have devoured something like this, where people were talking about the route in chat, where I was talking about the route, explaining stuff in English. Like, I would have devoured that stuff as an English speaker, because all I had to work from was a single Japanese RTA. So yeah, good stuff. Helpful, hopefully helpful. What are these noises? Oh, there's John Sinclair. Okay, we're back, guys. Sorry about that. Hey, Remus. Sorry, man. It's one of those things, you know. Had to get car work done, and they call me back right now while I'm doing this, of course. But anyways, we were just talking about the plans for this tutorial. So anyways, my first step, I don't know why every time I refresh YouTube it just thinks and thinks and thinks. What's that about, dude? But I need to measure. So what I need to do is open I need to go to, I need to find, here's what I need to do, is the CC frame. Okay, YouTube stream files, there it is. So under YouTube stream files, CC frame, if I open that up, all I gotta do is measure this area here. So like, really, I hate that it's snapping. Yeah, that's what I want, is that. So I'm not gonna need, yeah. I guess this looks pretty good. This is 574 by 947. 574 by 947, okay? So let's create a new file. Hey, I love how it does that. Hit create. Okay. I'm gonna save this as MV any tutorial commentary area. You know, what do you call this stuff? And then real quick, I just want to throw a color in there. Right. Save this as a ping. Okay. And drop it in to this current layout. Just to make sure it fits properly. So, image. Okay. All right. And of course it comes in a little big, but that's fine. We can scale it down. I don't want to have to scale it down every single time. Because that's obnoxious. And also, it's snapping. Can I turn that snap off? Can you turn off snap to edge? Something like that? I doubt it. Order. Yeah, I doubt it. So in that case, yeah. I edit transform. I click up. And bound. Cool if I could like lock it into perspective. So all I can do is I don't even need the other thing I screwed up is that I should have recorded this like on a blank without my frame and moving text and all that, but I'm sure there's would be something I can do to fix all that. Yeah, maybe I just snap it in full length, top to bottom. I don't need the date. I don't need all that scrolling text. So now I'm going to change things. So let's do something. Let's go back to Photo P. And it's really going to be more like this. No, that didn't work. It's really going to be this. This is 606 by 1080. Six oh six by 1080. Okay. Now let's save that. This is a PSD. Export as a ping. And let's drop that in. Yep, of course it's way bigger, but that's okay. Bigger's better than not. So not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know if I can crop just the video portion. I guess we're gonna find out. I guess if I go to this video that I'm looking at right now and I take a screen capture, just the video, and I save that, and then I drop that in. It's gonna look like that, which gives me some room at the bottom if I wanna say anything else. We can make that work. And I gotta get the air popping. Good boy. All right, so what do I want to say? I think what I'll do is try to do a very small portion of the tutorial just to make sure I don't do all the graphics for it and then like it's not going to work out. So I think I need to choose a good background color. Like black would be good. But like a dark gray might work too. And so I'm going to need folders. So let's create a folder. And they're going to need to be organized. So this is going to say like intro. That's always going to be there. And inside intro will be some text that'll say, text needs to be big enough. I need a good font. I don't know what that would be. This font's probably fine. Welcome to the magical vacation. Any percent English. Okay, so here's what I need to do. Can I drag a text shape? Oops. I can't if I can't do that. Oh, good, because that's what I want. So, put that in there. That'll help it wrap. We're going to need a border. So let's say 50 pixels for now. 50. Can't seem to get exactly 50. 49 is good enough. And then I want to drag this edge to edge and get this text up. That size maybe? We might have to reduce it. Welcome to the magical vacation. Any percent English fan translation to beginner or a tutorial. And needs to say something like if you are looking for a Japanese RTA tutorial, I have provided a link in the description. A few things to know. How do I make a bullet? I don't know how to make a bullet. Maybe I just do an arrow and say... Yeah, I don't like an arrow. How do you insert a bullet? This program's limited. But is there glyphs? Ooh, glyphs. Glyphs. Do we have a bullet? Wow, we have a lot of characters, buddy. There's a bullet. Perfect. So, a few things to know. For the most part, you can learn where and how to navigate by watching the gameplay. Now, can I change the size of the text here, but not everywhere? Nice. Can I make this 42 again? 42 might be overkill as well. Yeah. 42 might be overkill. Like 38 maybe. A few things to know. For the most part, you can learn where and how to navigate by watching the gameplay. Alright. Insert another bullet. I will use this panel for additional commentary, such as battle, strategy, you know, I'm going to use it for a lot of stuff, you know, battle strategy, boss HP value, and anything else that seems helpful. And then in the top, at the top of the gameplay video, I have provided input display to further clarify at the top of the gameplay video, I have provided input display to further clarify. What do I say? What's up, Remus? A ROM hack that turns Magical Vacation into a text-based game. Now you're talking. How are you today, dude? Yeah, we need some space between these. For the most part, you can learn where and how to navigate by watching the gameplay. I will use this panel for additional commentary such as battle strategy, boss HP values, and anything else that seems helpful. At the top of the gameplay video, I've provided input display to further clarify game inputs. There's so much I want to say. I have to keep it simple. I kind of consider saying eating. That's always good. That's always good. What you eating? You eating fruit? Kind of want to say, like, you know, this tutorial does not provide perfect movement. It is a general resource for how to finish your first speedrun. Noodles. This tutorial does not provide perfect movement, but is a general resource for completing your first speedrun. Welcome to the Magical Vacation 80% English fan translation tutorial. If you are looking for a Japanese RTA tutorial, I have provided a link in the description. And then I would send a link over to Guno's Nico video. Few things to know. For the most part, you can learn where and how to navigate by watching the gameplay. I will use this panel for additional commentary such as battle strategy, boss HP values, and anything else that seems helpful. At the top of the gameplay video, I have provided input display to further clarify game inputs. This tutorial does not provide perfect movement, but is a general resource for completing your first speedrun. I don't know. That seems alright, I guess. Guides would go away, and it would look like that. And that would, like, be going on while I'm, like, selecting the... while, like, the intro is going on. Or I don't even have to have any gameplay going at this point. I could just have the start menu up. Question is that readable? Or is it going to be better on black? It's like, I kind of want to make it black, but if I'm going to make it black, because that provides really good contrast. But if I'm going to make it black, I want to add a stroke, which I don't need that. I'm going to add a stroke. Fill of none and a stroke of white. And I don't know, 2 pixels. And just drag it around. Right? And I want the stroke to be... Can I choose to have it on the inside? Probably not. Maybe I go to a 3 pixel. That looks pretty good. And then I save often. Welcome to the Magical Vacation 80% English fan translation tutorial. If you are looking for a Japanese RTA tutorial, I have provided a link in the description. Few things to know. For the most part, you can learn where and how to navigate by watching the gameplay. I will use this panel for additional commentary such as battle strategy, boss HP values, and anything else that seems helpful. At the top of the gameplay video, I have provided input display to further clarify game inputs. This tutorial does not provide perfect movement, but is a general resource for completing your first speedrun. That seems pretty good. That's my intro, okay? So if I zoom back here, my video, this is the problem I'm having, is that, and it's probably Windows, because Windows 11 sucks. It can't be my internet. My internet's fast as heck. But I don't know if it's YouTube or if it's videos in general, but if I don't do anything, if I do something, not always, but sometimes it stops and thinks forever about this freaking video. So it's like, I don't know what the deal is. It's could just be, it can't be memory either. See, there it is. That just took too long. So I have a starting soon up. So I can show you guys this too. That would be helpful. So you guys are like, wait, what's he talking about? But I can provide a window capture of this. And I need to go to Windows. It's so dumb. Nope, that's not what I want. I want this. Okay. And I'm going to crop it. We don't need to see anything but this. And it could be small. But this is what I'm referring to right now. What we've been working on for a long time. So, and see, as soon as I press play, look at it thinking. See how dumb this is? I don't know why it's doing that. I've got OneDrive paused. See, it's just taking longer than it should. So when do I turn off starting soon? So turn off starting soon around in here. And I could probably speed this up. Nope, not sleep timer. Playback speed. Do 1.5. So, you know, new game. All right, so the next photo piece stuff will be a new folder. I'm going to turn off intro. Honestly, I can just duplicate intro and retitle it to be intro 2 for now. I don't know what to call this. This is also kind of intro. So this is intro 2. And this is going to say one. And this can be probably, let's make it 38 at least. Say 1, new game, name your character, and then in parentheses, if you are going for world record, make it 1 character. Probably doesn't matter, but that's just like a speedrun standard. Yo, Tyler, welcome in. Hey, thank you, man. It was very good. Thank you so much. How are you today? And my hand's doing better. It's almost back to normal. New game. Name your character. If you are going for world record, make it one character. Make it one. Yeah. Name your protagonist. Oh, but it's going to be female. Somehow that didn't. New game. Name your protagonist. Oh, new game / female. Name your protagonist. If you are going for world record, make it one character. Number 3 would be... Am I still at 1.5 speed? Yeah. Yeah, female. Name your protagonist. Beast element. I think when you say yes is when the timer starts. Yep. Start. Start timer as you confirm yes. So many different ways you could write that. That's how I'm doing it for now. New game, female. Name your protagonist. Beast element. I don't need periods after this stuff. Start timer as you confirm yes. Or I could say, yeah. And then I could provide as much or as little commentary as I want. I could say, no mashing necessary. If I spell something, no mashing necessary during intro cutscene. You don't want to wear yourself out if you don't have to. Good, just working. Saw the post about upcoming streams. Do what you need to do. Hello, Patch. Patch is snoozing. Thanks, Tyler. Thanks for the support. Yeah, life has been incredibly busy. I probably just have time for one stream. So you guys can let me know what days are best for you. Otherwise, I might just do it when it feels right, when it works out. Like, I got a couple hours here. This feels good. Saturdays might be good. Tuesdays might be good. But, female because supposedly, so I don't have a firm answer for you because I haven't vetted this information, but supposedly she has better magic stats or better stats or something, because I think the stats are slightly different. Correct me if I'm wrong. And this game is all about magic. Is that accurate? That's my best guess. I would have to go back to Guno's tutorial and translate anything she said early on to see if she mentions anything about why picking female. You have time on Mondays? Very good. So I could do Mondays for now. Although I reached out to T. Moran, who is also called Mage in the Discord, and he was stuck at work, but I don't know when he gets off work. And I don't know what his work days are. But I usually see Tyler, Remus, and T. Moran the most. So I would cater it to you guys rather than someone that pops in once a month or once every couple months. Yeah, what does that check out to you, Remus, that the female, that Mallow has a better magic stat than Marsh? Because that would be my best guess as to why we go female. Everybody knows why we do beast element. It's because it works out best for the grind, because we have blueberry in our party, and we do call rainy, clear rainy. So beast and water work well for that grind. A new game female, name your protagonist. Yeah, and it would be fun if I had time one day to run it with Marsh and see how different it is. See if the damage values are significantly less or exactly the same, or yeah. Feel free to look that up if you want to. So I'm not gonna be saying why we choose female. I'm just gonna say choose female because that's what everybody in the Japanese speedrunning community do. There must be some reason for it. Windsock might know off the top, too. New game female, name your protagonist. Beast element. Start timer as you confirm yes. No mashing necessary during intro cutscene. And we can probably even go to 2 speed. That's as fast as I can go without paying for a YouTube Plus or whatever. In my Discord, I likely have their stats screenshotted from that Japanese wiki, but it would take too long right now for me to look that up. It's not super pertinent. Let's put it this way. I'm not going to be the first person to choose male without doing a little background research. Yep, so there's really nothing else for me to say at this point. In fact, the only thing I could do is add a graphic if I thought it was helpful. But I can't really think of what I would... I'm going to save my file. Can't really think of what I would show. Although putting some space in between these bullets might be helpful. I'm going to pause this. New game female. Name your protagonist. Maybe I just do an arrow here. Maybe that's better. New game female. Name your protagonist. Beast element. Start timer as you confirm yes. Can't think of anything else I would add at this point. Oops, I didn't mean to delete. No mashing necessary. Oh, maybe I didn't. Maybe that's what happened. There we go. No mashing necessary during cutscene. To me, that's important because this is a 3 to 4 hour run, and mashing does wear you out. And you don't need to be mashing when you don't need to be mashing. You need to save your energy. And you might assume that you mash to clear all that text. You wouldn't want to skip any mashing because this is such an easy part of the game. You could get optimal time by just mashing if it were to need mashing, and mash the heck out of that A button. So yeah, no need to do that, man. It's auto scroll text that is not affected by mashing A. Tyler says, time-wise, I'm good whenever. Cool. I'm generally working all the time, so can always pull it up. That's cool. Make a post if you can on when, and if I miss it, I can catch the replay. Exactly. Sounds good, man. I appreciate that. That sounds like a life lesson. Don't mash when you don't have to be mashing. It's true. Yeah, don't sweat the small stuff. Or that's not really applicable. Yeah, don't. I guess the life lesson would be match energy with people, right? Don't extend energy where it's not going to be appreciated or necessary. Conserve your energy. You only have so much. Only use it wisely. Use your energy wisely. All right, so that's that. Okay. Now, what could I say next about this next part? Really not much to say. You can see that I'm mashing A by my input display. You can see that the input display is going to show that I moved the character. Oh, that is something I could say. So what I could say on the next part is, so I could duplicate this and call it Academy '01. Because I might have a couple of academies. But during this part, it might be helpful to say a useful tactic is, I'm going to say, note my input display as you watch the run. A useful tactic is to hold the D-pad in the direction you will be going after a cutscene. And I don't know if cutscene is the right word, but I will say for, in parentheses, for this game, a cutscene is a period of time where characters are only talking to each other does that make sense? There are no actual cutscenes in this game after the intro cutscene or before the ending cutscene. In this game, cutscenes are long blocks of time where characters are talking to each other. So there's no movement, there's no battle. You're literally just clearing text, clearing conversations. Note my input display as you watch the run. A useful tactic is to hold the D-pad in the direction you will be going after a cutscene. For this game, a cutscene is a period of time where characters are only talking to each other. This ensures that you don't speak, that you don't repeat conversations. I find this very helpful. This ensures that you don't repeat conversations. During this period of the game, I will eventually be holding the D-pad down while mashing A. Save. Hope that's helpful. I don't know if there's anything. I don't know if I need to. I don't think I need to call it one. Oops. Because I don't think I'll be saying anything else until we get into the room with chests. Note my input display as you watch the run. A useful tactic is to hold the D-pad in the direction you will be going after a cutscene. For this game, a cutscene is a period of time where characters are only talking to each other. This ensures that you don't repeat conversations. During this period of the game, I will eventually be holding the D-pad down while mashing A to leave this room. And I don't think I need to talk about it anymore, to leave this room, because you just take that information with you as you go. Sometimes you'll be holding the D-pad in different directions, but essentially, if you should know where you're going after a conversation, and just be ready to hold down that D-pad, because what happens is the game registers that D-pad press, and it will read that before it reads A mashing. So you don't have to like stop mashing A and press down. You could save frames by just mashing A while holding down. And as soon as the conversation is done, you will start moving down and you will not be able to repeat the conversation. So that's helpful because I've been speedrunning for about 8 years. And if I could tell you the number of times, because not every game works this way, but I could tell you a number of times that me and many other people have accidentally talked to somebody twice. If you watch speedruns, you'll see it. And they'll be like, dope. And there you lost time. You've lost easy time by repeating a conversation that you didn't need to repeat. So this ensures that you don't do that. I'm working all the time, so you can always pull up good I'm not you supervisor. Right? Yeah, Tyler, it sounds like Tyler has some sort of yeah, Tyler's likely a manager or an important person in his company. You're working all the time. Or you're freelancing, but you're a busy person. Yo, detecting zone. Welcome in, dude. Just say scripted dialogue. Thanks, Remus. Yeah, I appreciate the input because I don't want to be too verbose. This is this game. So should I put it here? For this game, a cutscene is a period of time with scripted dialogue. With scripted dialogue. That's much shorter and sweeter. This ensures that you don't repeat conversations. During this period of the game, I will eventually be holding the D-pad down while mashing A to leave this room. Exposition scenes. They are not all exposition scenes. Skip the obvious, like, while you watch the run. Okay, thanks. Yeah, let's keep it short and sweet. Where did I put that? Useful. Note my input display, period. Note my input display. A useful tactic is to hold the D-pad in the direction you will be going after a cutscene. For this game, a cutscene is a period of time with scripted dialogue. This ensures that you don't repeat conversations. During this period of the game, I will eventually be holding the D-pad down while mashing A to leave this room. Rinse and repeat. Freelancing, work from home. I like to listen, and I'll have this in the upper corner. Excellent. Yeah, I used to do a lot of that. I know what you mean. You just got to get the project done. Always working means you're taking breaks when you want, you know, but you got to keep working at your own pace, and you have a project deadline, and As long as you get that project done, man, you can kind of work when you want, but you got to be working at least sometime every day in intervals. Skip, just replace everything about cutscenes. Use the text is to hold the D-pad in the direction you will be going after a cutscene. Oh, you mean don't say cutscene, say scripted dialogue every time? Cut the cutscene and just write scripted dialogue. Okay, cool. Gotcha. You'll be... a useful tactic is to hold the D-pad in the direction you'll be going after, because it's not really a cutscene, is it? After scripted dialogue. I don't know if I have find and replace in this program. For this game, scripted dialogue is a period of time yeah, so maybe I don't need to define scripted dialogue. You can figure that out for yourself. Note, my input display, a useful tactic is to hold the D-pad. Maybe I need to capitalize D-pad. Maybe it needs to be hyphenated. What do you guys think? Wonder if I can bold. Oops, I hate that. Wonder if I could bold certain things. Wouldn't that be great? Gosh darn it. Bold. I can. Very good. The direction you'll be going after scripted dialogue. This ensures that you don't repeat conversations. During this period of the game, I will eventually be holding the D-pad down while mashing A. I could even use color. How does that sound? Note my input display. A useful tactic is to hold the D-pad in the direction you will be going after scripted dialogue. This ensures that you don't repeat conversations. During this period of the game, I will be, comma, I will eventually be holding the D-pad down while mashing A to leave this room. There's your example. I think a useful tactic is also obvious. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so all I need to say, man, I do not like this program, but I just don't have Photoshop. I have Illustrator, but I need to get rid of it because I don't use it enough to... I'm about to cancel it, so it's whatever. So all I need to say is, note my input display, hold the D-pad in the direction you will be going after scripted dialogue. This ensures that you don't repeat conversations. During this period of the game, I will eventually be holding the D-pad down while mashing A to leave this room. I'm not going to say anything more about that, so I just wanted to say that, and then you could take that information and rinse and repeat it throughout the run. Thanks for the help, Remus. This is great. So moving onward. I think that's good. That's Academy 1. We're going to leave this room. Don't need to explain any of this. In fact, we're going to be utilizing that hold down left. You can see that I'm holding down. I might change it to down left. Yeah. We're going to go into this room and say Let's start a new one. This will be Academy 2. Okay, and this is going to talk about what we pick up here. Just to reinforce if there's any question. I'll say in this room, pick up the sticker, the this, and the that, and then leave. Or I don't even need to say and then leave because the video will show that. Need me to convert something for Photoshop or Illustrator? Not certain what program you were in. I'm in Illustrator about 5 hours a day. Cool. No, it's okay. I have Illustrator. I'm faster and better in Illustrator. I should probably be doing it in Illustrator, but I'm not. Because like this week, I actually want to cancel my subscription. I need to tighten my budget. And I used to use it a lot more, and now I don't use it at all. So I don't need to be spending $25 a month on it. But that's a nice thought. That's very nice of you. If I do change my mind, I'll let you know. Are you a graphic designer by chance? I was a graphic designer for like 15 years. Long story short, I don't do that anymore. But Photoshop and Illustrator are great programs. Super powerhouse programs. Photoshop's amazing. Illustrator's amazing too. You have a lot more control over kerning, space before, space after, leading. You have access to better fonts. Lots of, they got AI in there now too. Good stuff. And I used InDesign. I don't know if you ever used InDesign. Started on Quark Express. That's a really old program. I don't even know if they use Quark anymore. So I think that's good enough for this. This Academy 2 is going to say pick up the X sticker, because I forget what it is. I think it's a love sticker. And the X and the X. Stupid issue I'm having. Don't know what to call it. Why is it thinking so hard? I don't understand. Is it a YouTube thing? Is it a browser thing? I just don't see it being a memory thing. I've got a shitload of memory. I got fast as heck internet. It's probably Windows. It's probably some background stupidness happening. Compassion sticker. Pick up the compassion. I swear to. Pick up the compassion sticker. the bandana and the probably wooden clogs. Yep. And I'm gonna bold those. Pick up the compassion sticker, the bandana, and the wooden clogs. Boom. Done. Oh, true. Well, but I'm talking about my YouTube video. Slowing down. Do you think it's slowing down because I'm using Photopea? It's like there shouldn't be any issues whatsoever with my setup. Like I got fast computer, I got lots of RAM, I got fast internet. So I'm like, is it a browser issue? Is Windows? You know how annoying Windows is these days and everybody's switching over to Linux? This is some background task. I just don't know why. I just haven't had a chance to troubleshoot why every time I play videos in YouTube on this PC, you know, why it's thinking so hard from time to time. But yeah, you're right. A not online, you know, maybe it's Photopea. Maybe it's, you know, I'm not using much. I'm using OBS. I've got my YouTube chat open. I've got my YouTube video open that I've captured, window captured. And I got Photopea. So I'm using DuckDuckGo, OBS. These are the only two programs I have open right now. Maybe I can close some of these other tabs. It's like I shouldn't have to do all that. I got Discord open. I'm not using it. I could probably close it. Okay, that's good enough for that. I don't need to say anything like leave. I need to leave any obvious stuff so the viewer just watches the video for that. I mean, I don't necessarily need to say compassion sticker, bandana, wooden clogs, but I want this to be like a decent tutorial where like some of this stuff is reinforced with additional text, like many tutorials do. Sometimes even if something seems obvious, it's helpful to have it like elsewhere. Okay, so the next thing we do is go into the instrument room. And I don't really need to say anything. The user can easily see that you recruit all these characters, and then you leave. Really, there's not much else for me to say. The Academy. The next, in fact, I don't need an Academy 3, I don't think. I think the next one would be Beach 1. Unless I think of something that's helpful. Some anecdote. Reinforcement is good, but instructions need to be exact and succinct. Yes. So so what do you think? Does that sound good? There's not much else to say, right? Pick up the compassion sticker, the bandana, and the wooden clogs. Bing, bang, boom. I've bolded those. Not much else needs to be said. I could add screenshots of those items, but it's like, meh. I am going to be adding some screenshots and some graphics, but I don't know. Don't feel like that's necessarily for this one. Nothing needs to be said here. You can see my input display is maybe mashing A for a while. There's no directions to move, so I'm not holding D-pad. We're just mashing A straight up. Should be sufficient, considering the viewers should have an advanced understanding of the game. Yeah. None of this matters. We're just mashing A. You don't even need to understand the story. It's not helpful. Yeah, graphic design at its core, but something different that uses those same fundamentals. Cool. Very cool, dude. A great industry. Oh, that's great. Thanks, Tyler. That's really thoughtful. All right, so I need to get ready to pause. There's probably something I need to say between now and the end and Memoretta Forest. There are periods of lag or periods of... This is not a straight speedrun. I stopped to talk. I stopped to go to the bathroom, so... Do I need to say press A to move the rock? Or that's obvious? I want to talk about our first battle. Kind of get some battle information out there. Okay, I'm going to slow it back down. So here's some things I could say. I could mention that this is a poppet because we're going to see it later, and I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to heavily describe the grind and how, like, you know, when you get into the grind, the poppet is actually a good one to have because you could stay in battle longer with it, because for grinding purposes, it's beast, your beast, you don't do much damage to it, so you're going to be in battle longer with it because you're just going to be doing one. And I don't know, I just feel like it's helpful to people to understand that that's called a poppet. I don't have to describe every encounter. In fact, nearly every encounter we come in contact with, we run away from. We're going to be talking about bosses, but that's different. But, gosh. I mean, the only encounters we have is this one, the encounters during our grind, and what? Maybe the encounters... You okay, buddy? Oh, got a hairball or something? Okay. Okay, sweetie? I have a hairball. And the encounters we find in the ruins, they're unavoidable, but you have to fight 2 of them to get some thunder bombs and some sparkle bombs. But you don't really need to know the names of those enemies. You essentially just need to beat the battle as fast as possible. But what I could say here is just talk about battle in general. I could be like, this is a poppet, and we will see this enemy later. As long as he stays clean of the carpet, everyone should be fine. Yeah. You okay, buddy? He has not vomited yet, which is good. This is a poppet, and we will see this enemy later. This is our first battle. What can I say about battles? I don't need to say too much. I could mention like that during battle you can choose between A, B, C, D, E, F. You know, like I might just write some stuff and then we can pare it down. But like, this is our first battle. Battles are turn-based. Battles are turn-based. And characters go in order of their speed stat. Our party can choose between magic, physical attack, escape, defend, and items. I'm probably missing something. I thought during one of the battles I scroll through the options, but it must not be this battle. What am I missing there? Magic, physical attack, escape, defend, item. I could talk about pine cones. Okay, sounds good, Tyler. Our party can choose between... Yeah. This is a poppet, and we will see this enemy later. This is our first battle. Battles are turn-based, and characters go in order of their speed stat. Our party can choose between magic, physical, attack, escape, defend, and items. Or I could just say item. Choose your parties. I mean, you might have a point. You might have a point. Maybe I don't need to. Should I say anything? I mean, should I say this is an inescapable encounter? This is a poppet, and we will see this enemy later. I just want to prepare people for poppets because I am going to talk about... I do think I should thoroughly explain the grind. Should I say this battle is inescapable? Or I could say this is one of a few inescapable encounters. Yeah, maybe I don't need to say that. Maybe I could just say this is a poppet. We will see this enemy later. This is our first battle. This is our first encounter and one of a few. Is it unescapable or inescapable? I think it's inescapable. Yeah. One of a few inescapable encounters. I could say we will be escaping most encounters in, I would say majority, the majority of encounters in the game and simply fighting bosses. So I could bold, pop it. This is a pop it, and we will see this enemy later. This is our first encounter and one of a few inescapable encounters. We will be escaping the majority of encounters in the game and simply fighting bosses. Other than that, maybe I don't need to say anything else. That could be Beach 1, unless you guys have some input. Yeah, I think you're right. I could say this is a pop it. And our first encounter. Or I could say this is a pop it, comma, our first encounter, and one of a few inescapable encounters. We will be escaping the majority of encounters in the game and simply fighting bosses. That's true, that's true. This is a pop it. And one of a few inescapable encounters. We will be escaping the majority of encounters in the game and simply fighting bosses. And I only say that because there is a grind. Like I said, unless you guys can think of something else, there's the grind, there's that battle, and then there's 2 battles that we choose to fight in the ruins to get bombs. This is a pop it, comma, 1. Yeah, you're right. This is a pop it, one of a few inescapable encounters. We will be escaping the majority of encounters in the game. I don't need to say in the game either. That's short and sweet right there. This is a pop it, one of a few inescapable encounters. We will be escaping the majority of encounters and simply fighting bosses. That's a decent tidbit. Yeah, we don't need in the game. Yeah, exactly. This is a pop it, one of a few inescapable encounters. We will be escaping the majority of encounters and simply fighting bosses. That sounds pretty good. Maybe. What about that one we skip? We skip a couple of bosses. I mean, you might be right, but what do you think about that dragon that we skip by right before we go to the... Is it the Dark Realm or the Abyssal Plane? We skip a dragon in Top Toe Mines, and then we also skip that seal-looking dude that's lying in the middle of the pathway. But that's only 2. Maybe we just need to say this is a poppet, one of a few inescapable encounters. Actually, it might be the only inescapable encounter. No, it's not. Well, I guess it depends on what you define boss as. In the forest, we're going to have to fight a... There's no way out of fighting one of the pukas. And then I would count Demise as the first boss. I mean, some people might say it's Volcanera, but Demise is probably a boss, right? Maybe a mini boss. And what about the puka that we get as soon as we get our first beast sticker or beast element? Things to consider. This is a poppet, one of a few inescapable encounters. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's the only inescapable encounter. Would you guys agree? Maybe I don't need to say and simply fighting bosses. Yeah. I could just say this is a poppet, comma, an inescapable encounter. Might be the only one. What about that? This is a poppet, an inescapable encounter. We will be escaping the majority of... We will be escaping the majority of encounters. That's accurate because of the magic grind. And if you count the ruins, the 2 battles in the ruins, as... Those are not inescapable. I think you can run away from those. And we choose to get into those battles. They're not random. I should say, maybe I should say random encounters. This is a poppet, an inescapable encounter. We will be escaping the majority of random encounters. What about that? This is a poppet, an inescapable encounter. We will be escaping the majority of random encounters. Having any inescapable encounter implies their existence. Okay. What do you think? Should I edit it further? Yeah, and again, it's not so much that it's an inescapable encounter, is that you have to fight this battle to advance the storyline. Random is unnecessary. Well, like I said, I don't know. There's 2 would you consider, so there's that dragon in front of the cave door we squeeze past, and there's that seal-looking dude that we squeeze past. Beyond that, and those almost seem like optional bosses. Would that be accurate? No need to really mention them. I mean, I might say you can squeeze past this dragon boss, or this dragon monster, I don't know. I kind of want to say that because I mean, people will watch me do it on the VOD, but it's kind of cool. I think it's a nice anecdote that you don't have to fight that guy. He's blocking the doorway. Same with that other dude. They're both kind of blocking or partially blocking your pathway, but you can squeeze by them. These bosses are not in the majority of skipped encounters. Okay. What do you think? This is a poppet. Maybe I don't need to say an inescapable encounter. If I was going to say anything, and I don't have to, I could say we have to fight it to advance the story. And we will be escaping the majority of encounters is accurate because we will be intentionally fighting encounters during our magic grind. These bosses are not in the majority of skipped encounters. No, they are. I got confused. That's okay. What do you think? This is a poppet. Instead of an inescapable encounter, I think, wouldn't it be more accurate to say an encounter we must take to advance the story? Or do you think it's fine as is? The bosses count to the majority of skipped encounters. Yeah, you're right. Okay, very good. So I don't need to mention those bosses. This is a poppet. Yeah, but instead of... Okay, cool. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, it's inescapable in that we have to fight it. This is a poppet, an inescapable encounter. We will be escaping the majority of encounters. That's probably good. Unless you guys have anything else. Then you watch what I do. No need to really mention it. You navigate here. You navigate there. You see my input display. I'm going to be holding down on the D-pad. Pretty soon. Because this is a scripted dialogue. Very good term. I could also say we will be escaping nearly all encounters. Magic Grind is kind of its own thing. It's a purposeful... It's purposeful battle. It can't be helped. I mean, if you don't fight these... your bosses are going to be impossible. You got to learn Powers United. Now, here I could say, should I say this? Should I reinforce? I almost feel like it's helpful to reinforce the fact that it's important to stay to the left of the, what would you call that? Fire pit or whatever that's called. If you try to see, in video games, you want to cut corners and take the quickest path. And you might think, you know, someone might watch this and be like, well, why not just cut next to the puka? Well, the answer is you will get into battle with that puka if you don't go around this fire pit. It's not a fire pit either. I just can't think of the right term. What's it called? Frickin' campfire or something. But should I mention that? I mean, I kind of feel like it's helpful. Like, or I could say something like, follow this movement to avoid a puka encounter. What do you think? I'm going to duplicate this folder, call it Beach 2. You know, so I could say follow this movement to avoid puka encounters, because I don't know, you could probably avoid all the pukas even if you get kind of close to them, but you can't make it between that wooden bench and that puka without getting into that encounter with that puka, unfortunately. And that, I don't know. I don't know for sure whether you can escape it, but for optimal speed running, you would lose time. Even if you could escape that battle, you could avoid it entirely just by simply going around the campfire. Puka, Enigma. That's the other thing. They're called Enigmas, but when you get into battle with them, they're called Pukas. I don't know. I don't have to include this, and you know, I can always get. I'm gonna have you. I'll have the Discord watch my tutorial, my beta tutorial for final input. You know. But like, if someone doesn't read that and they just try to squeeze through, they're going to understand why I put that there. They're going to be like, oh shit, I should have paid attention because... The thing is, at the beginning of the tutorial, I say that I don't have perfect movement. But sometimes I do have purposeful movement. Right? Like, probably overthinking it. There's probably not much else to say except about the coins. I do want to reinforce coins and that you need 7. Ooh, I almost got into battle with him. Puka. Oh, it does not have an H. It has an H in some contexts, but not in this game. Puka is actually a Celtic mythical figure. So I like that was chosen because they do kind of have ears like a puka. Anyways, this is all pretty self-explanatory. Scripted dialogue, move from point A to point B. The only other thing to mention, there's only 2 other things that I could mention in this section is the coins. Just reinforce that there's hidden coins. Make sure to get all 7. Coins are very important for the end of the game. And then the other thing I could mention is that optimally, you can save frames and go into the whirlpool a tile early. It's more like task movement. It makes so little difference in your run. It would be like you're trying to get world record and you're 1 second off. You could do that. But there's so much RNG in the game, it's not going to come down to that. It's more just like an anecdote. Hey, little side anecdote, fun fact. You can enter the whirlpool to Memoretta Forest, to the Light Realm, 1 tile early, and it kind of breaks the graphics a little bit. Ooh, isn't that cool? So I'm going to duplicate this. Talk about coins. Madeline's going to do some crazy magic. What is she? Light? I wonder what spell she's casting right now. You're a good boy, Patch. Okay. So these are Antiqua. Yeah. So this is going to be... So here I'm going to say... make sure to collect all 7 Antiqua coins. We will be collecting a variety of coins as they are needed during the end game. Oh, I already did that. Why does it not want to make that bold? Make sure to collect all 7 Antiqua coins. We will be collecting a variety of coins as they are needed during the end game. That's good for now, unless you guys have input. That's something I would want to know. That's it. And then we could say something about this. Just a fun fact. Yep, I was just double checking my coins. I could say something. Make sure to is unnecessary. Okay, cool. If I was going to say anything else in this section, I would say it's possible to enter the whirlpool 1 tile early. Is it whirlpool or is it warp? Is it warp? Warp zone? What would you call this? It is a whirlpool, but it's also a warp zone. Oh, they're calling it a whirlpool. Okay, since when was there a whirlpool in this cave? So that checks out. So I'm 1 tile early than where the game likely wants you to go. Whirl. Okay, cool. It's possible to enter the whirl. Ooh, I didn't even spell that right anyways. 1 tile early. That's for like anybody that wants to task this game. But you can see that you kind of get, it's just not the intended, it's not the intended way, because you can see that the character is kind of blocked from view. It's just kind of funny. It's just a little side. It's just like a little humor, really. I wonder if you can do the same on the other side. There's like 3 tiles there. The game likely intends for you to go to that center tile, but you can use that first tile, and then I wonder if you can use that last tile. Never tried it. All right, we are in the forest. I'm going to duplicate this folder. And call it Forest 1. I could have fun facts too, if I think of any. Or if you guys think of any. Hey, fun fact. Blah, blah, blah. I do want to reinforce something here with regards to speaking to elements. Oh, I did want to say something about pine cones, but I missed my opportunity. I just want to reinforce why pine cones are important, but I could say it during our first. I mean, the thing is, I've already forgotten his name. Pizza. Pizza mentions exactly what's up with pine cones, but like, you know, speedrunners are mashing through the text, so like they may or may not read it. So you could do a little side note. Hey, give Pizza 5 pine cones to create a warp point for you. I don't know. Should I say anything about pots? Healing pots are free. Magic pots require 1 green gummy frog. So I do want to say, as reinforcement, and because I want to save people heartache, but and we can reword this, but when recruiting, is recruiting the right word? Obtaining, recruiting an element. It says obtained. We say obtain depoison. Just as reinforcement, obtain depoison tail when recruiting for now elements. Say yes to recruit, but say no to explanation to save time. Now, if I need to reword that, fine, but that's what I want to get across. Or I could say yes to recruit, comma, then say no to the explanation. Okay, very good. Then say no. There's only two, it should only be two options there. See what the way it goes down. Hello, I'm the beast element. Yes. No. Obtain D poison tail. When recruiting elements, say yes to recruit, then say no. Say yes to recruit. Comma say. Obtain D poison tail. When recruiting elements, say yes to recruit. Oops. Comma say no to explanation. Okay, very good. So what I have is obtain depoison tail. When recruiting elements, say yes to recruit, say no to explanation. Why does that explanation look more condensed? Because it is condensed. I want book. There we go. Obtain, maybe some of this other stuff's condensed as well. I think 2 is condensed. Yep. I need book. There we go. Obtain depoison tail. When recruiting elements, say yes to recruit, say no to explanation. Okay, very good. All right, here comes some other stuff. A condensed explanation. Yes. Yes. I guess I need to find out if Nana is going to pick my wife up from work or if I should. I should probably text her real quick. In fact, I just got a text. Okay, so I just need to text Nana and say, do you want me to pick up wifey? What is today, Monday? Yeah. She'll let me know. Okay, sounds good, Remus. All right, let's duplicate Forest 1 because we are likely going to need more side notes. Yeah, a lot of it is crafting these notes to be simple, succinct. You didn't miss anything really, but we have made it to the forest, and I don't think I need to say anything about this hookah battle. It's inescapable. That will be obvious. If you try to escape, I don't think you can. I could say, there is something I kind of want to say. I kind of want to say, as a new runner, consider healing at the pot after this puka battle. Consider, and I think I do it, so it's just, you don't have to. I don't think either. I'm willing to bet that all three of the Japanese runs, they skip it. Well, I know for sure Guno does, but it's tight. And you could, I don't want to reset this early, especially as a new runner. So if you can make it without healing all the way to Volcanera and then be, well, you can get a heal right before Volcanera. But if you can make it, you'll likely get at least one encounter on your way to Volcanera. Well, you're going to get into 2 encounters. You're going to get into probably a minimum of 2 encounters on your way to Volcanera. So if you think you can do it after this battle, more power to you. But if you're wrong and you didn't safety save, you're going to have to start the whole run over. And you're probably not even 20 minutes into the run here. So, as a new runner, consider healing at the pot after this puka battle. I don't know. Seems worth saying. Because I didn't see what our health was. But I'm pretty sure I pop in here and heal. Yeah. Because it's a tutorial. Yep. Only takes a few seconds. Now here we're going to pick up 2 leaves. So you want to Jaggy, Holy. The only reason we pick up Holy there is that this is one of the few times we use physical attack. And we're very low level. I think we're level 1. Obtain Jaggy and Holy Leaves. Giving the runner options doesn't sound like a bad thing. It can be like one of those sidebar notes like in the old strategy guides. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I mean, when I tried to just make it from Puka to Volcanera my first few times, I died. It's tight. So with good movement, okay, so I think I should reinforce here and say, from, I should say, equip X before next boss. Or I could say before Volcanera. Oh, I've been doing condensed bold. Well, I got to go back and change that. But for now, I'm just gonna keep going, but I need to make a note that I haven't been doing the right bold. Obtain Jaggy and Holy Leaves. Equip X before next Volcanera. Before Volcanera battle. Before the Volcanera battle. And what are we going to be equipping? We're going to be equipping the bandana, the wooden clogs, the compassion sticker, and we're going to be eating those leaves. So I could simply say eat both leaves. Equip bandana, wooden clogs, and compassion sticker. Or I would say equip bandana, wooden clogs, compassion sticker, and eat both leaves before the Volcanera battle. The reason I say that is it's up to you when you want to do it. Most runners, well, Guno equips it right before Volcanera battle. But as I said, as a new runner, it's a little tight and a little scary on the way to the Volcanera battle. You're level 1. You've just lost. You could lose a significant amount of damage. You can even die to Demise. Well, you lose damage on Puka, and then if you don't heal at the healing pot, like Guno does, you then have to fight Demise, where you can lose even more damage. And then you can get into at least one encounter before Volcanera, before the healing pot. So my thinking was, as a new runner, you could just go ahead and equip all this stuff right here after getting your leaves. Why not? It doesn't lose you any time, and it gives you that little bit of extra defense. So that's my thinking there. How to tell that someone knows typography. Right? Yes, that is one thing I'm very well versed on, is typography. Kerning, leading, tracking, before space before, space after, typefaces, different weights. That's good stuff. I always enjoyed typography. Obtain Jaggy and Holy Leaves. Equip bandana. Wooden clogs. Compassion sticker. Oops. And eat both leaves before the Volcanera battle. Now, a new runner watching this video will do it when I do it, and that's fine. But like I said, it really doesn't matter when you do it. It's all the same amount of time to do it. I just think, why not do it earlier, since you're about to get into a battle with Demise, and then 2 more encounters. There's an encounter as soon as we pick up a chest here after Demise, and then there's likely one encounter, almost certainly one encounter before Volcanera, because you got to walk all the way through the cave, and you can make the first 2 screens. If you have tight movement, you can make it through there without getting into battle, but that last screen is very long, And even if you make it to the healing pot, I've gotten into an encounter the tile before Volcanera. So why not? Why not go ahead and have your... You'll take less damage. I mean, do you. Yeah, after... I'm running low on time, but after Volcanera, I'm going to stop and do the first bit of tutorial editing and add these graphics in, just to make sure everything's going to fit and look right. Before I go ahead and do all of it, you know? Oops. Really not a lot to say here. Pistachio, Demise is beast, we're beast, we're not going to do much damage. Pistachio is going to carry this battle. 8 versus our 1. And if you have the Compassion sticker on, you regen 1 HP after each turn. And I have died during this battle. So I would create a new folder. Oh yeah, I bet Nana's gonna pick up Samus because she's got to go to the post office. So this would be Forest 4. And we'll be talking about picking up this chest. There's our encounter. You can get it before or after the chest. It depends on your movement. Obtain 3 yellow worm. And then here, it's up to you. Oh, I didn't do it. I think I die. And then I show everybody this other place you can heal. And get 3 frogs. But the thing is, optimally, you really don't want to pick up those frogs. Yeah, pretty sure I die here. We'll see what happens. See, these 2 screens are pretty easy to not get an encounter. But here you got to go all the way out of the way down here, pick up 2 Ignis coins. Oh my goodness. I missed Photoshop. 2 Ignis coins. And then watch me. I bet you I die in this battle. Oh, I force an encounter so I don't get one on the tile before. Yeah. Hey, welcome in, Remus. So here, I just wanted people to understand that, oh my goodness. You can force an encounter so that you don't get one on the tile before Volcanera. Because that sucks. And I've had that happen to me. And maybe I should say you can force an encounter before healing. Really, it's like if you didn't already get an encounter. If you haven't already gotten an encounter, you can force one before healing to avoid one on the tile before Volcanera. And then here, oops. You go ahead and equip some other stuff. Right? No, never mind. We've already done that. This is where Guno equips all the equipment and Compassion Sticker and leaves. Now, on this same graphic, I could introduce Volcanera, boss, battle, Volcanera, HP. I would like to know what that is. Covopedia. Volcanera. And I could say the attribute and the HP. The attribute is dark. Dark. Let's see. HP is 95. A lot of people like to count damage. And I would like to have a graphic of it. Open image in new tab. That's kind of small. That's okay though. Save image as. Because we can scale this. Nearest neighbor. And it won't lose any whatever. Let's see what 400 looks like. Let's see if 400 works for us. And we will want to say some stuff. I'll have some bullet points. We will want to say, if you haven't already gotten an encounter, you can force one before healing to avoid one on the tile before Volcanera. Boss battle, Volcanera. Attribute dark, HP 95. That's what it looks like. And then what do we want to say about this battle? We need to talk about who needs to stay alive. We need to talk about the strategy. So keep Mallow. Oh, let's see. I guess I would say, here's what I would say. Strategy. Let's get our glyphs back out. Fortunately, bullet was like way down here. Mallow and Kirsch. I say keep Mallow and Kirsch alive. I might need to make it small, this text smaller. I don't know the names of all these characters. Yeah, this is why I would need to know the names of some of these enemies. Getting an encounter avoids one on the tile before Volcanera. That sounds good. The only thing is I kind of want to say use the word force because that's like speedrunner lingo. That means, you know, get into an encounter. Yeah, I could say forcing an encounter avoids one on the top before Volcanera. The thing is, depending on your movement, you don't know when you're going to get the encounter. So that's the hard part. You haven't already gotten an encounter. Forcing one. Forcing one avoids one. Forcing one avoids one. Top. It's awkward. What I'm saying is awkward. forcing one avoids one on the tile before Volcanera. How could I say that better? Triggering or forcing. If you haven't already gotten an encounter, forcing one avoids one on the tile before Volcanera. Is that too awkward sounding since I'm saying one and then one again? Or I could say avoids it. Does that sound better? If you haven't already gotten an encounter, forcing one avoids it on the tile before Volcanera. Or really, I should say tiles. Because I only said tile before because I've literally gotten an encounter on the tile before Volcanera and it was awkward as heck. Because you really would like to go into Volcanera with full health. So I will say tiles, meaning don't avoid healing and then getting into battle right before Volcanera and then having to heal again. If you haven't already gotten an encounter, forcing one avoids it on the tiles before Volcanera. I feel like that sounds pretty good. Then you got your information. Keep Mallow and Kirsch alive. You're going to want to use a physical attack. Pistachio. Triggering or forcing an encounter prevents one on the tile before Volcanera. Oops. Yeah, I guess if you haven't already got one is obvious. So you could just say forcing an encounter prevents one on the tiles before Volcanera. How does that sound? Forcing an encounter prevents one on the tiles before Volcanera. It's like, you know what I forgot to say? And I could go back and make this card, but I need people to understand how encounters work in this game. It's like, I believe they work after X number of steps, okay? And I believe it's always the same number of steps, but you have to walk X number of steps. Let's say you move from one screen to another. Because every time you reach a screen and change screens, it resets the threat value. So let's say I move to a new screen, threat value is at 0. Once I reach X number of steps, I'm going to get an encounter. That's why tight movement is important. But some screens are so long, you're going to get encounters. It's based on your movement. So unless you're doing a task, you're likely not going to get an encounter in the same place every time, or at least all runners will not get it. You know, it's going to be based on their movement. Prevent is pre and vent. Interesting. Hey, why don't you prevent the room? Hey, wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, so anyways, I need to probably go back and explain encounters. A good place to do that would probably be the encounter after Demise. Be like, hey, fun fact. This is how encounters work. So maybe what I'll do is I'll duplicate this layer to remind me, and I'll say encounters. And just to remind me to come back, I need to say something like, this isn't what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say, this is how encounters work in Magical Vacation. So I need to come back, and I'm going to, can I color things like I can in Photoshop? Can I give this a color? Probably not. That's fine. But I need to talk about that. All right, so text probably needs to be a little small. Uh-oh. Why is this guy so far down? Forcing, oh, because I've been changing text. That gives me more space anyways, that's great. But I need to tell people what to do. You don't just fight willy-nilly. You need to have pistachio, kick, and I wish I knew what these guys were called. And because I'm skipping animations, it's not going to tell me, is it? That sucks. I'll have to come back in and put these guys' names unless you guys know them. But keep Mallow and Kirsch alive is paramount. Then you need to say something like pistachio. Yes.
Printer in here.
Yeah, go ahead and grab it. You're gonna pick up Gamer Widow because you're going to the post office?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good, very good.
Well, UPS.
I mean UPS, cool. Sounds good.
So I should pick up what? But come off as.
Do you need me to pick up?
Oh.
Do you need me to pick her up?
No, I should be fine.
All right. Thanks, Nana. Keep Mallow and Kirsch alive. Now I could keep it simple and say pistachio, kick, X. Punch. So it's punch. There's punch, kick, and slap, I think. Oh, man, that sucks. Yeah, that bestiary would be nice. Keep Mallow and Kirsch alive. Pistachio, punch, X. Oh, are you? Cool. Oops. Mallow. Kick. X. Arancia. Spirits. Requiem. Vulcan, you're up. This text needs to go smaller. Hirsch kick. Right X. So mallow, so pistachio punch. Oh, no, left. Pistachio punch, right X. Mallow kick, right X. Kirsch kick, left X. Wouldn't that be cool, Remus? And I need to say that there's a chance dang it. Nope. You need to know X can call an inky spirit. That's why you're getting rid of these guys first. This is why we're killing them first. And even if you try to kill them first, they could still call a spirit before you have a chance, which makes Falconera able to do a powerful combo and one-shot one of your party members. Just make sure... I don't know if we have any Wakey Tells at this point. You know, it might be a reset. I think it is better if games display the enemy names somewhere during battle. That way players will memorize them. Agreed. In this game, if you don't skip animations, it will say the name of the enemy when they attack. So if I had it to do over, well, I was going to say if I had it to do over, I would have not skipped animations to grab those names. But that's not, I don't want people not skipping animations. So I would have had to like fight the battle twice and edit out the one with the animations. It would have just been for me knowing their names. I know that sounds convoluted, but keep Mallow and Kirsch alive. Pistachio punch right X. Mallow kick right X. I'm saying X because I don't know the enemy's name. Arancia Spirit Requiem Falconera. Kirsch kick left X. X can call an Inky Spirit. Heal as needed, and then use magic to finish it off. I think that's the strategy. You guys let me know. Yeah, I would say use magic to finish Falconera. Heal as needed. With frogs. That's my strategy. Forcing an encounter prevents one on the tiles before Volcanera. Boss battle, Volcanera. Attribute dark, HP 95. Now, I didn't include the sidekicks. So that would be even more information that I could add. But if there's no bestiary, I'm going to have to hunt down those enemies' graphics. And I'm going to have to hunt down their HP. But from the video, you can see that 1 to 2 kicks should kill them. It's possible that you miss, though. You can miss. It's complicated. These battles are complicated and RNG heavy. So I could mention, for the sake of all battles, battles are RNG heavy. So be flexible. You can miss attacks. Etc. I don't know. I don't exactly know what to say, but like, it's worth noting. Keep Mallow and Kirsch alive. Pistachio punch right X. Mallow kick right X. Arancia. The thing is, Kirsch, I believe, is level 3 here. We're all level 1. So it takes me and Pistachio up to 2 tries to kill that right enemy. Whereas Kirsch is stronger and can one-shot. So this battle actually went really well. They didn't call a spirit. We were able to get rid of those guys quickly. So yeah, and he didn't kill any of us. He's not likely to kill he's less likely to kill any of us if a spirit isn't called. It's a pretty simple battle as long as things go well. Ha 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 ha. Nervous laughter. Beware RNG. Yes. Yeah, I like that. Beware RNG. Be flexible. You can miss attacks, etc. So yeah, it's the other thing. It's like, do I explain encounters, how they work? Do I explain combos and why we're fearful of spirits called? Because when we get to Snow Hare, that's another scary one. Because if one of the humming winds, it's the same type of battle where you want to kill the humming winds first because they can paralyze you. But either the humming winds or the dude in the back can call a spirit, a wind spirit, making a pretty devastating attack combo possible. Again, we don't have many Wakey Tails, and they're like $100 a piece. So, you know, how do you say all of that? But I've also got my guide, and you can watch the runs. So whoever wants to speedrun the game must have already played it. Agreed. You're very unlikely to find someone that's like, I've never played this game ever. I'm going to start with the speedrun. So that's good. So they have an understanding. Or they will by the time they finish this game. Even if it is their first time. So what do you guys think? Keep Mallow and Kirsch alive. This is the simple strategy. Keep Mallow and Kirsch alive. The reason you want to do that is you want to always keep Mallow alive, period. Because Mallow is the main, will be, very soon, the main damage dealer. And it's crucial that she reach all her... The other thing is, there's so much to talk about, is stat upgrades are random. So you want every opportunity for Mallow to increase speed and so on and so forth. And so somewhere I should probably say always keep Mallow alive. But at least in every strategy, I'll say keep Mallow alive. But the reason, of course, is that if you skip, if you let Mallow die even in one battle, for instance, here's an example. If you let Mallow die in one battle on your way to Fennel, you might not have the MP to use double Furry. And then you're in big trouble. And if you let Mallow die in even one battle, you might not have the MP to kill everybody in Aquila Crew's party in game. And that's trouble. Although I'm finding out it's not the end of the world when that happens. And world record, actually, that happened to them. But these are just little things that I could probably go back in and insert that are helpful. That you might not know even if you played the game, because these are more speedrun strats. Blind speedruns, you only get one chance. But yeah, keep Mallow and Kirsch alive. Pistachio, this is the basic strategy. Keep Mallow and Kirsch alive. Pistachio punch right X. Mallow kick right X. Rancia Spirit Requiem Volcanera. Kirsch kick left X. X can call an Inky Spirit. Beware. Maybe I should say beware. Beware. X can call an Inky Spirit. Use magic to finish Volcanera. Heal is needed with frogs. Beware RNG. Be flexible. You can miss attacks, etc. That's pretty good. And we'll eventually we need to plug those names in, because I can't say kick right X. I could say kick right enemy, but what do you do? It gets real complicated when you have like 4 or 5 flanking enemies and you're like kick back, middle, right, no. Just show an image of the enemy. And the name is that's just top tier tutorial. If I had like an image of the enemy and the name too. Then you're educating people. Then they're like, oh, that's a Poppet. Oh, that's Aquila Crew. Oh, that's Volcanera. Of course, Volcanera looks like all the other Enigmas in the game, but it matches up with the battle. And that's it. That's it. That's actually it for today. I'm out of time. But what I'm going to do is, as I said before, I'm not doing any more on this, because what I want to do is get these graphics into my editing program, edit the first, whatever this is, 20 minutes. Let me pull up my splits. I need to Volcanera is 2135-ish. So I'm going to try to create the first 20. If I can create the first 20 minutes of the tutorial, well, it's going to be longer than that. Kind of, not really, around there. If I can create the first 20 minutes of the tutorial, that'll tell me if I'm good, and I can just go ahead and finish things. Just keep doing what I'm doing. Or if I need to make any kind of edits. Because what I need to do is crop out all that crap you see, like the way I did now. You don't see it because I cropped it out. I don't need my picture of me. I don't need chat. I don't need the scrolling text or the date and time. I just need the game. So hopefully I can either this program that I have, I can crop it, or I can find a free video editing software that I can crop stuff. Because I just want the gameplay. And so that's my bad. Because what I should have done during this tutorial is just have the game only up on the screen. I wasn't thinking. And I don't really want to do it all over again. So we'll see what ends up happening. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for your help. It was very helpful. We have much better text. Thanks to you guys. I am burning up. I don't know about you guys, but it is humid. Whew. You too, Tyler. Good to see you, man.